even in NASCAR, right? Like, what's the difference between the older guys and the younger guys, right? You have so much experience, you know what happens. With the younger guys, you don't know any better, right? That's why they do such amazing things, because they don't know they can't do that. And the only way to find out is to exceed that limit. So how does that relate to what you're talking about? Yesterday, they just went and had fun. Right now, they're in their cars, and all they care about is passing the guy in front of them and getting to the front of the pack. That's it. And they're looking to have a good time, and they will. And they will.
What are you looking for here on the start?
You're gonna see a good aggressive start. Let's see how they get into turn one. Hopefully turn one's real clean. They will get through that next section pretty clean, although turning on to NASCAR 2 is a bit tricky. It wouldn't take much of a bump to get somebody sideways, but then there'll be a big battle right there at turn 3.
So they're coming to the start here.
Kai Johnson is the control car all the way to the cones here just before the flag stand. Johnson going to be putting the hammer down as the control car. They come into that area, and green flag flies. We're underway for Road Course World Finals, and down the front straightaway into corner number 1. Johnson going to take that advantage, and Carl, who's going to get through this first couple of corners here cleanly?
Looks like Johnson right now.
We got one.
Oh, we got a big wreck over there.
That was that Morabito in the 86?
Might be. You know what? I was watching the front, and I didn't see what happened back there.
Number 22, a lot of damage.
Carl, he's not happy.
Yellow. And another spinner down in turn 3. But Warner, a lot of damage on the 22 car. Looks like it's going to end his day.
Is that Roby pointed the wrong way in the 29?
Ooh, that was wasn't he our 4th place car?
He was up there battling for a top 3 spot. Once again, the 7 of Johnson will be the control car. They will work up to the cones just before the start-finish line to restart this race. Complete restart, minus the driver involved as we get ready to go to the green flag, and we are back underway for the Young Lions feature as they thunder down the front straightaway. Now, Carl, do they approach this any different than they might have on the first one?
I doubt it. I think they'll still be aggressive. They're having a little patience with each other, a little bit more than they might have had that first one. But
got a little bit of contact back there. Cone goes flying, but it looks like they all make it out.
Yeah, it looked like some guys had to go to the inside of the curbing to get through. That's that aggression that I still expected, but they were more cautious with how they did it.
Ben Morabito again was kind of into that turn, all over everyone, hitting some cones. Being very aggressive here early in this race. Keelan Harvick now battling Johnson down into turn 6 and around the bowl.
Great move by Keelan to set up that pass and make that position up. And first thing we're seeing there out of these first couple of corners, Joe Ryan race cars, 1, 2, 3, they've got their stuff together.
Yeah, they do. Joe Ryan's a good car preparer, but he's very fortunate. He's got just a few guys to take care of, and he's got some really good guys. I mean, those are some of the best drivers. And, talking about Harvick, I think everybody expects because of his dad, like, oh, he's going to be a great, circle track racer. But from what I understand and what I see, his future could be in road course racing.
Absolutely. As Harvick comes by, this time completes lap number 1. Kai Johnson in position at number 2. And back to Isaac Kitzmiller. We talk about the full season, and you talk about the oval stuff as well, Carl. We saw Kitzmiller have a really good run, a couple of races down at Winter Nationals, as we got one way up and made a missed turn number 1 there, I believe.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. The car's got to come to a spot, come to a complete stop.
We got a full course caution.
And that is the 10 of Davis around coming back onto the oval.
He wants to move up to the legend cars, and this is a good opportunity for him to get some time behind the wheel and get better. So at this point, that's what they're trying to do.
So Harvick's going to lead the field to green as they're still on the backstretch. So they'll come around and take the green flag. And then, of course, the 7 of Kai Johnson in second. This is a good battle for first and second so far in this race. We'll see who can hold on to the end.
Yeah, exactly. It's there's still a long way to go. I mean, how many laps have we?
11 to go. I'm seeing.
We've got one in.
We got one in. I know it's got a long time, but we've got one in. And again, you talk about settling down. It wasn't even an instant matter of settling down here, right? It's just things happen.
Field works through 12 and 12A. The 62 of Harvick is the control car working down the front straightaway, and they're already playing a little bit of bumper tag as they come towards the green flag, and we are back underway. Harvick in the 62 has that shot in behind from Kitzmiller as they dive it down into corner number 1.
They'll make their way through turn 1 and then 1A. Keelan Harvick out to a good lead so far, and then down into 2.
Yeah, and you were talking about that little bump. Those bumps help these cars get going, and it's really important to to help kind of get your line moving.
Roby looking at Kitzmiller for position number 3, and the 29, the black 29, will pick up that position. Chaber in behind in the 00 with the orange tailpiece there, trying to get a little bit further up the scoring pylon, and Kitzmiller going to try to dive it down into 6 and pick up that spot, and Roby going to try to get back. Almost a little bit of contact there as they go up the hill.
As all of this has been happening, Morabito is back onto the racetrack.
Look at this battle. Roby and Kitzmiller putting on a show, and they had some time to think about it under caution, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, they're ready to go. They're going to be aggressive. They're spaced out nicely so that they can race, right? You don't have to worry about not seeing a guy now. It's going to be because a guy tried to pass you.
Kind of the discretion, better part of valor, though. They'll come by this time and have 10 laps remaining. How hard do you push it right now on the Kitzmiller 97 if you're the 29 of Roby? You keep him in sight?
No, you want to try to get by, because if the sooner you get by, the sooner you can join the other 2 up front, or as opposed to pushing the 97. Literally push the 97 and work together to catch those guys in front of you. The draft would be helpful because it's early enough that you don't want to let them get too far away. If you notice, we're all kind of in a line, right? So you either have to, if the 97's holding him up significantly, you got to get by. If not, push him and work together to catch up to the guys in front of you.
Yeah, one of the best battles on the racetrack is this battle for position number 3, as Kitzmiller has Roby right behind, and a couple of cars in behind Nick going at it for a couple of spots, but for the most part, this battle that's on our screen is the best battle on the racetrack as they go for position number 3.
Yeah, and unfortunately, coming out of the horseshoe there, Roby dropped the right rear kind of off the edge. There's still pavement there, but it drops off, and when he did, it kicks the car loose, and he lost a bunch of ground.
Nick, look at this battle coming into our shot as the 24 of Dowless has the 10 of Davis right in behind, and Davis had a flat tire here a couple laps ago and now trying to get everything that he can back.
Yeah, he's back up right on the back bumper of Dowless. This is a good battle coming across the granite stripe right now. This is going to be a good one going down into turn 1, and it looks like the 10 car gets underneath him. So Davis had the flat tire, now gets by Rodney Dowless for position.
Yeah, that was a good pass and just good use of the draft there, right? Like I said, the draft is definitely existent in these cars, and that was a great example of it. Oh.
And someone goes.
Stop.
That's Roby. Blew that side. So how much time does he have to wait here to try to...
He's supposed to wait until the car he was racing with comes by.
He is mad, as you can see him inside the car, slamming his hands against the steering wheel.
And he's going to have to wait a while here.
All the way up and stop.
Yeah, he's got to get out of the way, because that's, you could...
Is it stalled?
No, he's not stalled. He was kind of
Heads
waiting
up
for
for the 29, heads up for the 29, heads up for the 29.
That's not the best place right there, is it?
That's a horrible place to be.
Continue on.
Because you could easily...
Continue on. 29, continue on.
He was waving his hands. That
No,
car
it means
might
he
not
probably
be able to
stalled it.
start.
Yeah, maybe there was something wrong
29,
with it.
continue on. Put your hand out the window if you need help. I got your hand.
His hand goes out.
Caution.
Yeah.
So he
Full
needs
course
help.
caution.
So a
Full
full
course
course caution will go out as
Full course
Roby's
caution.
stuck there. He is mad over there.
Full course caution. Full
Well,
course
again,
caution.
you work
Face
all
forward.
year here in these first 3 corners, because it's everybody's best shot to make a big jump. And I think after that, by the time we get up in the bowl, they'll start to single file. And then what will stop us again is those individual mistakes like what we had happen here. Like the 29 that initiated this caution, overdrove the corner, missed it, and then kind of got stalled out there and, had to throw the caution.
So to get him calmed down, what's the sense of urgency, you think, from the driver of the 29 here on this restart?
he's wanting to go. He's ready, and their big thing is say, look, do what you've been doing. Don't overdrive it, because that's what he did there. He overdrove it, right? Like and that's the hard thing, right? Like you want him to be aggressive, you want him to be fast, but
Green flag.
Green flag as they cross the granite stripe and down into turn 1.
And a great start by Harvick in the number 62 will be side by side with Johnson and Chaber now. Hello,
Oh, and we got a spin.
0-0.
and that's
Down
just
in
what I
1A.
was talking about,
double
right?
zero, get it going, double zero, get it going, double zero.
Chaber had an opportunity to
Come on, double zero, get it going, double
get
zero.
position number 3 away, but that's not going to happen.
No, it does not look like he'll be able to get that car rolling again. Again, the number 00 of Nicholas Chaber Jr. And his hands out the window. He can't get that car going, so it looks like we might have another full course caution if he can't get that going.
Pointed in the wrong direction down there as well. And I believe one of those drivers that's racing for a national championship as well.
The 00 is.
I believe so. He's up close to...
So here's what's happening, and I don't know this for sure, but it doesn't look like he's trying to start his car. He's waiting for them to throw the caution so he gets his spot back. And I don't know that Kyle's going to appreciate that.
Harvick works through 12 and 12A. Johnson in behind.
Looks like they're going to have to throw the caution here sometime
Caution's
soon.
out.
And there it
Full
is.
course Caution, full course caution.
Full course caution
Pace car's
there
got the field, back it down hard. Pace car's got the field, back it down hard.
for the number 00.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was talking about. I said everybody's going to be close. This is where you're going to have your potential your potential problems. People trying to be aggressive and get that position that they feel like they can make. That's why we're here. We're here to race, right? So if you can get by the guy, you're going to get by the guy because they all think they can win. They all think they're fast enough. There might be a couple drivers in there that recognize their limitations, but we all think we can win. That's why we're here. If we didn't think we could win, we wouldn't do it. So I think we're going to get a look at what might have happened there, although we
kind of saw that transpire. We'll take a look at it on the replay. And we had Roby in that spot trying to go for a top 3 spot. The white and orange 00 right there. Maybe a little bit of contact.
It's hard to tell from here. It's definitely hard to tell from here. But, part of what might have happened, too, is if he did not hit the rumple strips. If you hit the rumple strips, it upsets the car and it will easily bring that around. I don't know if that, I can't tell from that angle if he touched the rumple strips at all or not, but that definitely will upset the car as you go through there.
Looks like he ran into the back of the number 97, Isaac Kitzmiller.
Out of the line, coming back to green next time by single file restart.
So it's going to be a single file restart here. And the pace car lights will turn off as they cross the granite stripe one more time around, and then green flag racing.
So Nick was third in points coming in as we see a look at the point standings. A little far behind Cole Roby in the 29, and Cole's pretty much got this one, I don't want to say locked up, but unless something extraneous happens. And Kitzmiller in second in points. And this is for the season-long road course championship. That's on your screen.
Yeah, so especially frustrating, because you're thinking like, you worked all season for this, right? So
if they won't pass you, Benny, go ahead and tighten it up.
You got to get going.
Single file.
But I think what you're going to see here also is, the single file restart. Good in the interest of getting the race going because it's going to put them all in that line, and by being in the line, makes it a little bit harder for some of those aggressive moves or some of that incidental touching that's going to put people sideways. So the race will get going, most likely. Certainly, it's going to be a little bit harder for these guys. But on the negative side, right, we want to watch these guys race. We want to see those moves, and we're taking that away. But I got to give Kyle credit. As a race director, he's done a real good job, and that's part of it, right? We got to keep the show going. We can't have a 3-hour, 12-lap race.
How does this change the mentality as a driver? You mentioned we want to see them side by side, but how does it change the mentality of a driver? Do they still go as aggressive down into turn number 1 as they did when they were double?
They're going to, but it's not as easy.
Okay.
Right? They're going to want to. They will be just as aggressive, but without having the cars side by side, you know, if you think about it, the guy that was in sixth side by side starts third, right, in a way.
So a single file restart here. Keelan Harvick, the control car, and they will make their way into the restart zone, which is marked by the cones on the wall and on the fence. So Keelan now in the restart zone, and the green flag back out. 7 laps to go in the Young Lion feature.
Carl, who blinks first down here into turn number 1?
Hopefully nobody. They get through it well. I'd like to see a full, complete lap. I'd love to see these guys get some laps in. That's when it's most fun. This is a rhythm track, right? So we haven't been able to get into a rhythm yet. They haven't had some consecutive laps here.
Johnson trying to close back in on Harvick. Harvick holding the lead. Quick little pass for position number 4 up the hill by the looks of it. And Chaber in that 0-0. You can see that flash of orange coming through the field. It looks like trying to make up for lost ground.
Yeah, doing a good job making up some ground. I mean, that's fantastic.
That was a great turn 3 for the 0-0. Made up 2 positions at least.
Yeah, that's a great passing place, especially, you know, probably maybe a little bit more experience than these other guys, obviously being third in points. You know, he's done plenty of road racing, so he's a little more comfortable than some of the other guys.
Top 3 building a gap between themselves and the rest of the field. Kai Johnson in the 97 of Isaac Kitzmiller. That's the battle for position number 2 as Harvick leads this field off of the final couple of corners. Roby has worked their way back up to 4th, and you see that orange 0-0 of a Chaber trying to get a little bit more out of their ride.
Keelan running great laps here. Has the fastest lap so far with a 1:20.719.
So we're halfway.
Oh, and someone overshoots the corner over there. In turn 1, they locked it up hard. That was the 10 again. We saw problems with a flat tire for Kevin Davis earlier, and now he overshoots turn 1.
Yeah, he's just trying hard. You know, he's got nothing to lose. He's a lap down, right? So he's just driving as hard as he can. Pushing it. He's pushing it. He's trying to make up for a mistake that not his fault that he had a flat tire, right? So he's just hopefully it's fun for him. I know that the position might not be, but hopefully the journey is, the ride, the laps. Hopefully they're fun.
Roby in the 29 trying to cap off this national championship season with a win. The Joe Ryan race cars ahead of him, putting on a clinic so far, but Roby looks like trying to gain a little bit in behind them. Chaber trying to get one more spot, I believe, from Dowless as they come down into the infield portion of this racetrack and get ready to head up to 12 and 12A.
As they cross the granite stripe here, it'll be 5 laps to go in this Young Lion feature.
Guys are looking good. Now they can start to get in that rhythm we talked about. Now they're settled down. Just focus. Most of these guys are just focused on that car in front of them. Harvick is the only one without a car in front of him. He's just focused on not making a mistake, right? Hit your braking points, hit your turn-in points, nice and smooth.
It almost looks like Nicholas is kind of storming the corner, maybe more aggressive in the corner than the 24 has been these last couple laps.
Again, just trying hard, right? Doesn't want to give up the position, doesn't want to not win, right? So he's going to push. And when you have that rabbit in front of you, it's a little bit easier to push because that rabbit kind of sets a boundary for you, right? So it makes it easier to get to that. So you can push a little bit more, and if you feel it, you kind of can like, ooh, I can go a little better, right? So that's what happens when we chase that rabbit.
For a young Lion competitor and you're maybe the 24, how hard is it to kind of keep out of the mirror?
He's done a lot of racing. Hopefully he's not looking in the mirror, and I'm sure if his father, had anything to say to him, it would have been, when you're in front, just go.
Battle here for position.
Yeah, he hopped the curb there, looks like.
Yeah, he sure did.
Very good battle here coming out of 12A. Oh!
Sideways is Dowless as he will surrender the position to Chaber, and keep in mind the 86 of Morabito is at least one lap down. I believe he's 3 laps down at this point as Ben continues to try to learn.
That's what it is, right?
Yep.
He's just learning. And the and Dowell there, unfortunately, all it was is the running over those curves. It just upset the car so much, and he had no opportunity to do anything.
Problems for Roby. Roby was running position number 4. That was your national championship leader, and I believe he's going to head down into the pits.
Oh no!
Tough break there as the 24 of Dallas sitting in position at number 6, trying to chase down Chaber in the what will be now a battle for 4th and 5th as the 29 looks like it's got a little bit of steam again, but it's on pit road.
Do you think the pressure from Chaber kind of messed up Dallas a bit and to give up that position?
I don't know. Why are you here? What happened? You're driving into the pits. I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, especially if I'm leading the national championship, you're going to have to drag me off of the racetrack. I'm not sure what has happened.
And Roby went straight to his garage stall. Didn't come back. Obviously, if you go to the pits, I believe you're done.
You are done. Once you come off the racetrack, that's what happened to the 22. Had they towed the 22 into the pit lane, they may have had the opportunity to repair it, but towing him back to the garage, once you're back there, you're done.
Resetting the front of the field, Keelan Harvick continues to lead Kai Johnson in second. Isaac Kitzmiller in third, and with Roby going to pit road, Chaber's going to be in fourth with Dallas in position at number 5. In the final 3 laps of this one, and Harvick continues to set down a blistering pace, but the 7 of Johnson within striking distance should something happen, right?
Oh, absolutely right. None of those 3 cars can make a mistake. Those guys have set themselves apart from everybody else. Congratulations to the Joe Ryan group if they can keep this up. They're head and shoulders above everybody else today. The 3 drivers there are all running a very good race. And the key for all 3 of them, right? Keep pushing, but don't make a mistake. A little bit different for our leader versus our second and third place driver, right? Those second and third place driver, they got that rabbit to chase. Harvick, his job is, again, don't look in that mirror too much. Don't, just focus on running the laps that you've been running. You're a fast car. You're doing well. Keep doing it.
Little bobble from Johnson coming down the hill back into turn number 10 and allows Harvick to build a little more of a lead. They'll come by this time to 2 laps to go. Harvick, Johnson, Kitzmiller, your top 3, and looks like these top 2 might be pulling away just a wee bit over Kitzmiller in that 97.
Just a bit, not by much, but just a bit. And then they're significantly ahead of the rest of the field. Unfortunately, I wish they were all together, but wow, there's an enormous gap from it's half a straightaway.
I'm really impressed by the number 00 and how Chaber has come back to be in fourth right now. Made some great passes to get back into contention. Still very far back from Kitzmiller, but running a good race.
Well, you make an excellent point, right? Because you're frustrated, you think you're out, and you're you're at the back of the line, and you make all the way up to a very respectable at this point 4th place finish. And part of the reason his gap is so much is because he had so much more to get through to get to where he's at right now. I'm not sure what his lap times are compared to our top 3, but obviously a great run for the 00 after being spun out or spinning out and stuck on the side of the racetrack.
So Harvick going out of turn 12A. When he crosses the granite stripe this time, the white flag is there. And 1 lap to go here in the Young Lion feature at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Been seeing the 62 of Harvick being able to roll out of these corners a little bit better than Johnson in the 7. Kai might be a little bit better into the braking zones, but Harvick is able to pull off and pull away. And Harvick running down the back straightaway of the oval. They'll head up through turn 3 and 4 for this final time. Johnson's been really good here. This might be an opportunity to gain a little bit of ground.
At this point, just no mistakes from Keelan, and he should be good.
Absolutely. And, Tim, you just hit on something. You said, well, he's coming in the corner a little bit harder, but Harvick drives away a little better. That's what I was talking about when I talked about that balance, right?
Yep.
This is one of those racetracks where you think you can drive in deeper, and you can.
Yep.
But it's faster to maybe enter a little bit slower, and you can drive off faster.
You compensate for one and maybe lose a little bit on the other end, right?
Absolutely, and that's what makes this race course so much fun and so challenging, quite honestly. And that's where the guys that are local to here have such an advantage. They've been able to figure out that finesse and that transition a little bit better than the rest of us right now.
Harvick coming out of 12A right now.
Yeah,
Harvick got a 12A final corner and down the front straightaway. You can see him pumping the fist already.
He's going to take the checker.
Keelan Harvick is going to pick up the win. Johnson in a second, Kitzmiller in third. And a Joe Ryan Race Cars 1, 2, 3 on that one as well. Keelan Harvick, great performance to pick up the Young Lions Road Course World Finals. What can you say about the kid in the 62, and what can you say about this whole team?
Just a great job. Obviously, very well prepared. They've, I believe, they've come up here and run some races earlier this year. That effort shows. All three of those guys, good wheelmen right there. They did a great job, and good job in their preparation. It's just overall well done by a whole group of people. But let's not undervalue the effort of everybody else in the field. There's a lot of really good efforts. These people have worked hard. They're doing a great job. All of our drivers, you know, the good job out there. Once they got rolling, once we got through those